The Tema motorway repair works, which has been ongoing for the past 6 days, is expected to be completed and open to traffic within the next 7 days.
You've seen the inconvenience to motorists. I mean, the tailback is almost from the toll booth. Yeah, and I mean, as the major artery that connects Tema and Accra, and especially with the port, yeah, the inconvenience is terrible. And so I'll hold you to your word. Let's say about 4 days.
Maybe 1 week. We will finish.
1 week.
We will finish everything.
Within a week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll hold you to that.
Yes,
I'll come and inspect again and make sure that it's ready.
Yeah.
While engineers working on the broken bridge, briefing the President, John Dramani Mahama, assured the inconveniences caused motorists should be over soon. The question we are asking is, did we have to wait till the bridge breaks down to fix it? Did it need to take the President's visit to expedite work on the construction bridge? This is today's big story. My name is Stephen Anti, and for the past 6 days, motorists plying the Tema motorway road have dealt with intense traffic. Now, today, President John Dramani Mahama visited the contractors working on the roads, and they assured the situation should be fixed in 7 days.
It's been decided that we will only demolish to the third beam, and then because this side is lower than this side, we will bring it up, bring some metal members on the I sections so that they are all at the same level, and we will rather bring about 25mm thick steel plate across the entire bridge quickly so that we wouldn't waste much time. Meanwhile, whilst we are working on this, we will open this side to traffic. We will not break so that we will ease the Accra-bound traffic.
Okay, so you open the Accra bound?
Yes.
While you fix?
We will fix this one to bring it to the same level as the concrete layer here.
Okay.
Then we'll put a steel plate across the entire bridge,
okay,
and then we will let the normal traffic flow over the 2 lanes, and it will hold.
Okay. You've seen the inconvenience to motorists. I mean, the tailback is almost from the toll booth. Yeah, and I mean, as the major artery that connects Tema and Accra, and especially with the port, yeah, the inconvenience is terrible. And so I'll hold you to your word. Let's say about 4 days.
Maybe 1 week. We will finish.
1 week.
We will finish everything.
Within a week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll hold you to that. I'll come and inspect again and make sure that it's ready.
Yeah.
Well, President Mahama has, however, said his government is in discussions with investors to redo the whole motorway road into a 6-lane and will start as soon as procurement is secured.
The government recognizes the inconvenience users of the motorway are suffering as a result of the damage to the bridge on the Tema outbound route. We gathered the road engineers and other engineers in the mining industry, and they've come to look at it, and they devised a solution that would repair the bridge within a week. And so we're craving the indulgence of motorists, you know, to just bear with us a little while a quick fix is done to put the bridge back in use. But in the meantime, I've asked them to open 1 lane of the road so that it can reduce the congestion that we're seeing. And it's my hope that soon this problem would be resolved. But like I said, we are in discussion with some investors to redo the whole motorway into a new 6-lane route. And so that work will also start as soon as the procurement is done. And so the motorway will continue to be a major arterial connection between the east and west of our country. And so as this emergency work takes place, motorists should use the road with caution.
Well, the temporary route to be developed to further ease the traffic on the motorway will take a week to complete. Let's now get onto the phone lines and speak to Norbert Kwamo, who is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Highway Authority. Good evening and welcome to today's big story.
Good evening, and good evening to your listeners.
Now, let's get a clear understanding. There was an actual repair work period which we were told would take 5 weeks to complete. Now we are hearing that the repair works will finish in a week's time. Can you clarify what exactly is happening here?
I should think that I have said that I have nothing to add to what my chief executive has assured Ghanaians. So I think let's look at other areas of the issue.
No, I mean, when you say other areas of the issue, earlier there was information which we got that the repair works will take a total of 5 weeks, and it actually takes a longer period for the concrete that is cast to cure. So is that not happening again? And why 7 days? That's what we need to clarify.
Yes, I hope I'm making my position clear. I'm saying that I have nothing to add to what my chief executive has said. So please let us restrict ourselves to what will happen in 7 days' time.
I understand your position, absolutely clear. But what I am seeking to get clarification from is that when the repair work started, we were informed that it takes a while for the concrete to cure and that we were looking at 5 weeks. So I'm saying, what has happened special to make the completion work fast track to finish in a week? That's what I'm asking. That's not difficult for you to answer.
Yes, it isn't difficult for me to say, but what informed his decision, I am not privy to that. In fact, actually, I'm not at the site now, so probably what he's talking about, I don't know the details, but I know that what he's saying is assure Ghanaians that within a week's time, that road will be very motorable, more than as it is now.
Right. So let's explore other aspects of the work of the Ghana Highway Authority. It does appear that this broken down bridge could have been avoided if we had a reliable and consistent maintenance attitude.
Well, yes, it is true, and the Ghana Highway Authority is not found wanting in that respect, and the problem being that we are constrained. If you see the motorway, we have been undertaking routine maintenance on it. The road itself, has really outlived its lifespan. You know, it was commissioned in the early 60s, precisely 66 and 67. The first president who commissioned it was ousted. So we can say that this road has served us for more than 40 years.
Yeah.
Normally, such concrete surfaces, after 30 years, must see major rehabilitation. And you and I know the financial constraints that the nation is going through or has gone through, and which has disabled our ability to undertake the necessary rehabilitation of the road at the appropriate time.
Are there particular challenges that the Ghana Highway Authority faces in its work?
Well, we have been doing our best, and I will say that in addition to the inadequate funding, funding has also not come at the appropriate time. Sometimes money is released at a time when the weather isn't that too good, or the season is not too good for much work to be done. But in totality, government is doing what it can to give us the necessary funding when things are okay for us to undertake our routine maintenance. And then we have a situation of our contractors not this time being prepared to undertake most of the maintenance work on credit for us.
Yeah.
Because we have found it very difficult to pay them upfront, and also when they have committed or gone for loans to undertake some of these works, we find it very difficult, or we delay too long in repaying them, and they have to pay a lot of costs to the banks on the loans that they have taken. So this is also another drawback. Formally, you ask the contractor to move to site, and then he wanted to take the works, and then within a short time he stayed. But unfortunately, things are not that rosy. So most of them are also now becoming scary of undertaking such projects upfront.
Right. I'll have you hold, Mr. Kwamo, and I'm joined on the other line by William Dixon, who is from the Ghana Institute of Engineers. Mr. Dixon, we're grateful that you could join us on today's big story.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's explore maintenance culture. This is a motorway which, from what Mr. Kwamo is telling us, has outlived its lifespan. Is this a justifiable reason not to maintain the motorway in a proper manner, seeing that it's old? I mean, if it's old, does it not have to be maintained regularly?
Well, I didn't hear what the other interviewer said. I don't know what your questions you asked him, and I don't know what he said. But if you're asking me personally about maintenance of roads, roads and pavements are generally supposed to be maintained either periodically or routine maintenance and periodic maintenance and special repairs of maintenance of pavements. And so these are things that usually should happen on road pavements. So that must happen on any road pavement.
Right. I mean, the question I put to him was the nature of the motorway, the Accra Tema motorway, and asked whether if the road was maintained regularly, perhaps the bridge which has broken down, which is a major cause of the trouble we have in hand, wouldn't have happened. Do you think that a motorway of that nature, if it is over 40 years old, it should not be in use?
If the motorway is not in use, then I don't know how we are going to cross from Accra to Tema. We have these other routes. So every road is important, and that's why it was put there. So I do believe that every development structure has its design life, and once you maintain it throughout the design life, and once it's getting to the end of the design life, you make plans to try and find out how you completely rehabilitate or reconstruct new roads. So whatever it is, if we are still using it because we have to use it, then we'll have to maintain it so that we can use it.
All right. So, I mean, if the motorway reaches end of design life, you said, we have to make a decision whether to continue using it or get new roads. Would you support that the president has just said that the road will be redone into a 6-lane road? You think it's high time, right?
Definitely, the traffic volumes demand that it is, and definitely it is high time, because traffic volumes change and they grow year after year, based on various maritime destination movements and our demand for movement. So if the traffic volumes have shown that, projections have shown that we need to have a 6-lane, so we do have to have a 6-lane if the traffic volumes stay so.
Right. Engineer Williams, we'll have you hold. We still have on the line Norbert Kwamo, I beg your pardon, from the Ghana Highway Authority. So Mr. Kwamo, the president is telling us that very soon procurement will be completed for the reconstruction of the motorway into a 6-lane dual carriage road. Do you think that the Ghana Highway Authority is up to the task of maintaining such a road?
Well, that is not beyond the Ghana Highway Authority, and if we have the wherewithal, that shouldn't be a problem.
That is, if you have the money, if you have the necessary funding.
Yes.
So do you think that you are able to? Because I'm asking this on the back of the fact that we've seen a lot of road maintenances slagging in the country, and you have just told us that mainly funding is a problem. But is it also not about, getting up to your job duties and, living up to the task?
Well, I don't understand what you mean by living up to the task. We, as an engineering institution, we have our programmed inspection of the roads. We undertake a condition survey of the network. We program to undertake the length of roads that are necessary to keep the network motorable and serviceable. And then we budget and ask for the money or funding to undertake the works. And then when we get the money, we get the contractors to do the work. But as I said, financial constraints also limit us. So, for example, if we program to do about 100 kilometers on a stretch, and what comes is about 15 kilometers, we have to squeeze ourselves within that 15 kilometers and use the funding for that. So you will see that the target you want to achieve yearly is below that of what we have set ourselves.
Right, but Mr. Kwame, what do you use the tolls for? I mean, you collect tolls on the motorway, and I'm told that there are about 30,000 vehicles which ply this road on a daily basis. You make a lot of money. Why don't you use it for maintenance?
Yes, it appears so. You'll be right to assume that a lot of money is coming from there. But you must know that we don't only have only this 19-kilometer road in the whole country. All other roads need maintenance. So the money that comes from the toll that we collect are spread over all these roads. And mind you, the tolls from just below 10% of the required amount of money that we need for the total rehabilitation stroke maintenance of our road network.
But so, does it make sense that if you collect tolls on Accra Tema motorway and the Accra Tema motorway generates more of the money than perhaps the rest of the roads in the country, shouldn't you be maintaining the Accra Tema motorway more? Because that's where more of your money comes from in terms of tolls?
Yes, as I said, we have been undertaking routine maintenance on this road. And you see that this road is a special pavement. It's a concrete reinforced pavement. And the material that is needed is quite expensive. So we are limited in the sense that you find some of the potholes that have developed or cracks that have developed. We have not been able to get the money to buy the material which will really give us the solidity, the strength that we need. So sometimes, because we have to keep the motorway motorable, we use other materials. So that is it. We weed, we keep the ditches clean, we make sure that the drainage structures are clean, and as far as possible, keep the road in a motorable condition until we have the necessary funding to reconstruct or rehabilitate it totally. And then, as I'm saying, for other roads also, they need similar attention. So we cannot devote too much of the kitty to the motorway. And you also must understand that other roads also, other people, other communities are equally important as those in Accra here. And those hinterland communities are those who are producing the foodstuffs, the material that we need for export and all. So other aspects, other areas of the country also require similar attention.
I understand. So, I mean, what you're saying is that the motorway money is not enough to service all the roads in the country, correct?
It is.
So are you not considering other options of perhaps raising more revenue rather than depending on government each time and then the maintenance fall back?
Well, probably I would like to say that the funding or revenue for road maintenance is not only road and bridge toll. We have fuel levies as well. Licensing fees, and then also the traditional consolidated fund that we also rely on. So these are areas that we could see to. For example, in fuel levies, we've over the years been clamoring that the levies be raised so that we can generate much fund or money from there. Licensing fees as well, and then consolidated fund also. So if the fuel levies are increased, which I understand is about 6 cents per liter or so now, if it is increased, then we will generate a lot of money from there to assist us in our maintenance program. And also, we can also look at maybe raising funding, going to PPP with the public sector, and encourage them to also assist government in undertaking most of these major road rehabilitation projects.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Kwame, the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Highway Authority. Thanks very much. We still have on the line Engineer William Dixon. So, Engineer, you heard the Ghana Highway Authority mainly saying that the reasons for perhaps they're falling back on maintenance is because they don't get enough funding. Proactively, what should be the way forward to ensure maintenance is regular and, you know, breakdowns and closures of roads are minimized?
Well, I think that the way forward is that we need to sit together and find innovative ways of solving this problem, because what used to happen in the past is different from what is happening now. If we had a few roads, we had tolls, so our sources of revenue were from tolls. We were able to maintain some roads. We have a lot more roads now, and we're not tolling all the roads, and we don't have the adequate source of revenue. We need to begin to be innovative and think about other sources of revenue, or how we're going to be able to raise funding to maintain our roads. If we don't take that approach and we keep on just holding on to our original source of funding, whilst we have a high infrastructure supply, we would not be able to maintain those. So it just takes us back to the drawing board as a whole, and it doesn't depend on Ghana Roads and Highways authorities alone. I think it's a bigger team that needs to sit down and deliberate on this. It has to be spearheaded by them anyway, but the bigger team has to decide on how we're going to be innovative to resolve this.
Now, when we look at the problem that the Ghana Highway Authority outlined, it does look like, because of the central nature of the Highway Authority, it's unable to have a better maintenance culture and structure across the country. Is it not time, perhaps, for the country to decentralize the Highway Authority, to make the repair of roads and maintenance a responsibility of, let's say, local government authorities?
Well, to be very honest with you, if you talk about roads in this country, roads in this country are not only managed by Ghana Highway Authority. There are various categories of roads. So some of them are maintained by the Ghana Highway Authority, which are many are national roads. Others are maintained by the Department of Urban Roads, others by the Department of Feeder Roads, and others by the local government. So there are various hierarchy of roads. And to be very frank with you, all these authorities have their level of maintenance, because they know their hierarchy, they know what they're supposed to do, and they do it. So that
should be it. But really, you are not impressed with the consistency or maintenance culture for our roads in the country?
Well, not impressed is interesting, because what is happening now is that I am aware that the Ghana Highway Authority have it outlined about what kind of maintenance should go into which type of road. If it's a surface dressed road, if it's an asphalt road, it's an asphalt road. If it's a concrete road, they all have their maintenance regimes, frequencies of which they should have, and they know the loads that go on. They're supposed to monitor the loads. The question is, if they put out their plan that we want to go and maintain today, or the plan has been put out, do they have the source of funding to do it? I don't know. So the question is, it's difficult to tell whether they actually set it out and they don't get the funding to be able to do it. So in that case, do you blame them and say you're not impressed? I don't know. So we need to really find out what the real problem is. Then we'll be able to find out what the problem is, whether it's funding, whether they really come out with their maintenance strategies and they don't have the funding. We can't tell, but that's what he's told us. So we have to believe him. And maybe the problem is from funding. So we now have to start thinking about how we're going to fund roads. He said something about PPP. Do you now give it some sections of the roads to the private and say, look, find out you're allowed to toll these roads and maintain and rehabilitate it. So in that case, somebody A has got this roads in this area, and you're supposed to maintain and rehabilitate them. Then we hold him responsible, and he finds out how he'll be allowed to generate tolls from that road, and then he'll get money to be able to maintain the roads. That might be more innovative ways they're talking about. So that's why I said we need to sit down together and make sure we have better ways, because we're moving on as a country. So we can't keep on to our old ways.
Thank you very much. Engineer William Dixon is from the Ghana Institute of Engineers. We're now joined on the other phone line by Nanaya Akoda, who is Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety. Good evening and welcome to today's Big Story, sir. Nanaya Akoda is from the Bureau of Public Safety. Well, this is today's big story. We're talking about our maintenance culture on the back of the President visiting the Tema motorway to obviously extract an assurance for us all, the citizens who ply that road, that the repair works on that road will be done in the next 7 days. This is today's big story. Welcome back to today's big story. Nanel Akwada now joins us on the telephone line. Nanel is the Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety. Good evening and thanks for joining us on today's big story.
Good evening and good evening to your viewers.
Now, we've had an assurance from the engineers working on the motorway that the construction work will be done in 7 days. This actually is contrary to information we had earlier that it was going to take a little longer and that the concrete slab that will be used needed to cure. Will it be safe to travel on the motorway in this short span of repair works?
Well, basically, I'm not in a position to actually answer this question in all technical sense.
Right.
But our understanding here, after this, we had a meeting on this motorway issue here, is that it is possible, given the engineers, if the engineers will engage the right kind of material, there is this rapid cement that they can use. And my understanding is that it is not available in this country.
Right.
But if the government can secure this either by one of these courier services within the shortest possible time, it should be possible to use this. Our understanding also, and I think I heard the chief executive of the highway mention that they are going to leave the supporting members underneath the bridge after it has been casted. So if that is what is going to happen, the public might as well consider themselves safe. That said, it is important that we do not sacrifice the urgency to meet the public, do not sacrifice safety at the expense, we do not sacrifice safety at the expense of the lives and livelihood of people.
But Mr. Akwada, sorry to barge in. The thing is that the thing we want to explore is that will it be safe to travel on the motorway while the repair works is ongoing?
Well, it depends. It's all about engineering. It depends on the kind of engineering, engineering circumstances that are put in place on the motorway. It is not new. We've seen it in advanced countries. Sometimes they are doing major repair works on very busy highways. They put in engineering mechanisms to ensure that there is not an unfortunate incident like a road crash or anything. And so to the extent that all these mechanisms are going to put in place, the public should be safe. Having said that, I think that a greater part of the public fears was the fact that we all got to woke up this morning to hear that it's going to take 6 weeks, and by midday we are being told that it's going to take 7 days. And so people were kind of worried. What is going to go into it? Is the concrete going to cure? Is it going to be proper? Is it not going to break down? And we established that there are materials that can be used for such purposes.
Right. We're very grateful, Nanel Akwada, the Executive Director of Bureau of Public Safety. My name is Stephen Enti, and this is today's big story. We'll be right back with an interactive segment. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the interactive segment, and Gladys is here.
Thanks, Steve. But are you considering letting your boys, become footballers in future?
I'm not sure, but I wish they can play, but they can't play. Even socks ball, they can't play.
I'm sure by the end of interactive, you will have made up your mind where to take them to make sure they can play.
I see, so we'll see.
Right, so my name is Gladys Osei Asare. Let's get interactive right here on Joy News on Multi TV.
I don't think that money.
So on JN Interactive today, $75,000 has as appearance fees for the Black Stars. Yes, you heard right. We discussed a fraction of Black Stars' budget to the World Cup. I know you already know about, the government has approved $9.8 million. The figure is almost half of the money that the government pumped into the economy to salvage the fallen city. What are your views?
I don't think that money is necessary for them to give them because they've taken their bonus already. So that money, is useless. Yeah.
How are you taking $75,000 to each player? It's not good. It's not good for we ordinary Ghanaians. So at least the government needs to come out to, say something which is good for this country, because $75,000 is too much.
There is no $50,000 for Kobe and Irefua and all that. Our players, because most of them ply their trade outside, when we get to camp, they want to eat Ghanaian food. So we travel with a chef and a team, and they prepare local food for them.
You can share your views, your opinions. You can send us your comments via social media platforms: facebook.com/joynewsontv, twitter.com/joynewsontv. The handles are at joynewsontv and #JNInteractiveGH. Email us via joynewsim@multitvworld.com. So keep sending your comments coming through, and let's all share it right here on JN Interactive. But we understand the 2014 World Cup budget is the same as the South Africa 2010 budget. We also understand the budget also covers local food for the players, about $10,000 for stuff like Kobe, Momone, Wile, Agushi, and all that. Right? That's very local, but I can help you out. So I'm talking about Kobe is salted tilapia or something. Yeah. Okay. Let me save myself. That's one. But well, that's just about it. Let's listen to Elvis Efriye talking about that.
There is no $50,000 for Kobe and Irefua and all that. Our players, because most of them ply their trade outside, when we get to camp, they want to eat Ghanaian food. So we travel with a chef and a team, and they prepare local food for them. Now, most of the places you cannot get local food, so we make provision for that. And I think the figure is what? 10,000? 10,000. Mind you, we're going to be in Holland. Okay? We have, how many weeks is the training tour? 3 weeks? 2 weeks? The team will be away for over 2 months. 60 days. 60 days. So you look at the whole team, they'll eat in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Please, let's not trivialize some of these issues and make mockery of ourselves and the country. It's not fair. Entertainer, there's everybody who is doing decent work must be accorded respect. When a team goes to camp, people play various roles. There are people who you see them outwardly and they have big names and titles. But there are people who are also very ordinary. I can tell you, if you watch the team's matches, before every match, after every match, in the night before they sleep, they play drums. Somebody motivates them, psychs them up. That person is as important as the player and the coach.
Yes, you heard right. They need entertainers to psych them up. So they play matches after receiving the 75,000 appearance fees, as well as winning bonuses. You better get over it. Right, I have been joined on Skype by Prince Minkau. He is a citizen and a journalist, and he has an idea about the 75,000 cities the Black Stars are going to receive. Hello, Prince.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Well, I'm good, except that I'm just trying to ask myself, if the Black Stars are going to be getting this winning bonuses, what about the road within my village? When is it going to be fixed? And that goes to tell the kind of anger that's gradually growing even in the country owing to the announcement about cabinet's approval of the winning bonuses and all that for the Black Stars of Ghana.
Prince, let me test your football interest here. Are you a fan of any football club?
Locally or internationally? Because I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of football. I mean, I love soccer. I love soccer both in Ghana, both outside, and also outside Ghana. I mean, outside Ghana, I love to, follow the dying Manchester United. Here in Ghana, I love Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But when it comes to the Black Stars, I mean, every Ghanaian loves soccer when it comes to the Black Stars. Whether women, whether those who, don't even feel like supporting any team, everybody would want to support the Black Stars. But talk about the money and the winning bonuses. That's where the bone of contention is. I mean, I have with me here something that will intrigue you. I mean, if you talk about the various international obligations that Ghana has, as far as NEPAD is concerned, I mean, Ghana is supposed to ensure that we're able to deal with the basic developmental challenges in our nation. Roads have not been fixed. Schools are still on the tree. And we're talking about how much. Can you mention the figure again? And this is going to the Black Stars. How many of them have built schools within their neighborhood or their various localities? I don't have anything against the players, but I'm just looking at the figure, and I'm looking at the fact that I am hearing generators across the street, shouting doomsor, doomsor, doomsor.
But you see, Prince, for all you know, if they are able to get through the 60 days, the winning sum that comes with it, I mean, it will be good. It will be good for the country. Investors would, flood into the country and all that. So why don't we also look at the prospect of spending that much?
Yeah, absolutely. But investors flood into the country almost every day. What do we use them for? What are the benefits? What are the immediate benefits? We have investors in the energy sector. We still have doomsor, don't we? We have investors in other aspects, other developmental aspects, but we still have challenges with regards to our development. In the educational sector, we have investors in there, but what have they done so far? But I'm just looking at the figure and I just can't believe it, that this amount is going to go to what? Some 22 young men, and meanwhile Tiobodom and Vletoji remains the same.
Prince, aside receiving the 75,000 figure that's kind of getting you there, they equally would have to be psyched up to, make sure that they come home with something. So they have entertainers coming along with them to ensure that they are psyched up properly, they are entertained, they are put in the right frame of mind to, be able to focus right. I mean, how about that? It's all part of the package.
Yes, we will be excited.
I just hope we haven't lost Prince there. Well, I quickly would call Prince again. I was enjoying the conversation with him. But let me cross over to Sarah, who is out and about discussing the appearance fee for the Black Stars.
Thank you, Gladys. My name is Ya, and I'm here today in Coco Memle asking men about the $75,000 appearance fee that the Black Stars will be given in order to make an appearance in Brazil for the World Cup.
Because they will play a good match for Ghana so that Ghana will win the FIFA World Cup.
It's too much. It's too much. You already have money. And we need money to support the doctors. Kompanoche and Kolebu, the doctors' allowance, the government doesn't have money to pay them. So my understand that the government should give them $10,000, and the rest of $65,000, they should use it to support the doctors. Yeah, that's my view.
I don't think that money is necessary for them to give them because they've taken their bonus already. So that money, is useless. Yeah. So I don't think they should take that money because they paid them already.
Personally, I think it's cool because everybody and their profession. I am a marketer, and then I have a price for myself. They are footballers, so they have a price for themselves. Now, you can imagine if somebody is playing and the person loses his leg. The only job the person have is football. And now the person is playing with all the parts of his body. The person is training. Why do you want to quantify his life with $75,000? That the person, if the person goes there and plays very well and doesn't have an injury, then the $75,000 is worth it. But if the person has an injury, what is the country ready to do? You have the likes of Daniel Amokachi. When he had an injury, what is the country able to give back? It's just recently that he started assisting Stephen Keshi. But before now, it was just there. And we have so many of them. Look at Mike Tyson. It's also in the sports, but not football. What has the government been able to do for him? But people were saying that this man was very rich. But where is he now? So we must look at the risk attached to every profession.
My personal view, the $75,000 is too much. It's too much. Oh no, look at the situation going on in this country. Look at the economic situation in this country. The economic situation in this country was going from bad to worse. So they need to reduce it for the Black Star. If they reduce it for them, it's far, far better for Ghanaians. If in Ghana here, we can't get common water to drink in Ghana here. We are the citizens in this country, we can't get common water to drink. How are you taking $75,000 to each prayer? It's not good. It's not good for we ordinary Ghanaians. So at least the government needs to come out to, say something which is good for this country, because $75,000 is too much.
All right, so from the streets, let's quickly see what you have been telling us via WhatsApp. What have you been sharing with us? What's your view? What's your opinion on WhatsApp? Do you also equally have issues with the $75,000 package for each player? Isaac Quay says, OGH, let me save my comment for something else. Isaac Quay, well, thank you for contributing all the same. Kudus Tamite says, we need to prioritize our activities. We cannot risk our economy at the expense of football. Kudus Tamite, thank you for contributing to JN Interactive. Kweku Omane Oben says, that's just too much. Kweku, thank you also. Nanekia Champoma Obuobi says, are we serious as a nation? Are we serious as a nation? It's coming from Akia Champoma. Prosper Silencer says, as it should be, if the desired result can't be achieved by them, then no problem. Okay, so McDonald says, no comment, can reverse anything. Let's see, McDonald, thank you. Kwekwa Pare Anoban says, I don't know the benefits we will get from it in monetary terms. If it's less than what we are spending, then it is a misplaced priority. God help us. That's coming from Opare. Owuswan Juice Deborah says, our educational system is almost down, and look at how they are using our money. Right, so that's also from Andrews. Ohiniba Richie says, where are the lights to watch the match? Yeah, misplaced priority. That's a good one, Ohiniba. So the taxpayers' money go. I don't know how. Nene Bitete says, so there is this kind of money, and Ghanaians are suffering from water, electricity, educational sector, and job issue are also rampant. Hey, so when will this end? So that's coming from Nene Tete. Thank you all for contributing to Gen Interactive. Let's quickly also get on Facebook and see what some of you have also been expressing there. Let's quickly see. So if you have just joined out, for the benefit of you who has just joined, $75,000 as appearance fees for the Black Stars. Yes, you are reading right. Today we discuss a fraction of Black Stars budget to the World Cup. I know you already know that government has approved $9.8 million The figure is almost half of the money that government pumped into the economy to salvage the fallen cedi. What are your views? And we are grateful you have been sharing those views you have with us. So, Asare Godfrey say, I pray that they never qualify for any tournament again, because some are using the Black Stars to enrich themselves. Oh, what a wish, Godfrey. At least you pray they do well and they bring more than we are investing in them. That's more like it. Kwajo Reformer says, now wow. Phila Elembele says, okay for us. I greet Honorable Joseph Yamen. Safianu Adam says, waste of resources. Where are the Black Stars going after all? TJ says, TJ. So let's quickly go to Abdul Fatal Hamid, who says, can they bring the cup home? We are hoping so, Abdul. That's our hope. Kwesi Randy says, God help us. Honorable Kofi Treme Steven says, I think Ghana is in leadership crisis. How could our leaders approve such a budget? Miriam Ofori says, good work, Mahama. So Miriam, you go like, bravo, President. Francis Anoche says, it is really sad to declare to the world that Ghana as a country has no priorities. We are led by too selfish a body called government. I'm even ashamed to have learned people as our leaders. They are only gulping at the little investment made by the visionaries of yesteryears. God help our ignorance. Forge Rani says, the president, GFA leaders who approved should go to hell. God have mercy on them. Oh, you push them to hell and you ask God to have mercy on them. Come again, Forge. Well, so Alexander Insia says, I'm told their accommodation and feeding are sponsored by FIFA. So why this huge money? Interesting there. Miriam again says, check yourself before you even try to put a blame on any leader or governor. What do you do in your family and your community? Okay, nice one there. Francis Beibo says, simple, sports is more important than the economy of Ghana. $30,000 for Kenke. Haha. Other footballers, elephants. Osikeni Osei Ofusu says, what are the governments doing to the schools and the trees? Yeah, now it's trees and the schools. Isaac Apia Ingiza says, I don't know what the government wants to do. Who is in charge of certain priorities for the government? I think that person should come again. We have teacher trainees feeding fees in arrears, and all that government cares is Black Stars and World Cup. Majid from Gucheu says, my view is that devil is a liar and God should save this country from this bad government and their wickedness. Isaac Apia Ingiza again says the government should set its priorities right. Kinderu Komla Salom says, it's sad Ghana has made euphoria a priority. Abdullahi says, this is Ghana for you. And Ebenezer actually is crying for Ghana, so he says, I cry for Ghana. Felix Pyro says, no comment, President Mahama. Joshua Asumeni says, this money is even small. They should have sold Ghana and given them all the money. People you day. Francis Adoche from UST says, do Ghanaians actually apply the knowledge gained in schools? I'm of the view that formal education is not helping our country in any way. Our leaders only walk about with huge titles and degrees which do not match their true competence. Who will ever invest in a venture that will yield less return than which was invested? It is time we make our leaders swear before the Antwest and Co. Francis. Okay, so okay, I'd like to take Pelebe again. So he says, after all this spending, the government would sit there and there's no money. Growing up as a kid, I always asked my dad to advise his fellow teachers, Nagrat, to go back to the classroom whenever they embark on strike by telling him the government doesn't have money. And he replied me, shut up. What do you know about our economy? I now understand all what he used to tell me. Okay, George Cray says, I'm speechless. At least you were able to write, I'm speechless. So you spoke. Nick Kalato says, I don't even see what these crop of current Black Stars players have achieved for the country. Yet we continue to shower them with gargantuan amount of money. What an unserious country. And, well, my last comment, Musa Ibrahim, who says they have no money to pay workers' arrears, but they can spend this huge amount of money on a tournament. Right, so thank you so much for your contribution. You sent quite very interesting comments and opinions there. We do appreciate all that. Steve, have you considered your boys playing football now?
I think whatever my boys will love to do, I'll support them, including football. But I can't play football. I've never played football. I'm so rubbish with football.
All right, so tomorrow is actually World International Happiness Day. Are you happy? What makes you happy? Share with us on Facebook, and tomorrow we'll be sharing all that, our joy, our happiness, right here on GN Interactive. Steve, what exactly are we expecting tonight?
Well, the case of the orderly charged over his involvement in the missing baby saga at the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital has been adjourned at the Kumasi Circuit Court. The 57-year-old Baba Abire, who will reappear in court on the 9th of April this year, has however told newsmen he knows nothing about the disappearance of the baby. We will have a report from Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin at 8.
At 8, we also will take you to the motorway, where all 4 lanes of the Accra-Tema motorway should be open to traffic before next week, well ahead of the 5 weeks previously communicated. So officials of the Ghana Highways Authority announced this when President Mahama on Wednesday visited the bridge on the motorway, which got damaged about 2 weeks ago. Right here on Joy News, we'll bring you the details of that visit.
Well, that's how we wrap. My name is Stephen Anti.
My name is Gladys Osei Asare. Thanks so much for your time.
Good evening.